Hey everybody, welcome to the 105th SongBike Guitar Q&A live stream coming at you from the Connecticut River Delta, from my home to yours. How are you? Hope you had a great week. We have, I think, a pretty darn good show coming your way. Not just one, but two virtual play-alongs. We have a poll question. We have a dumb question of the week. We have a bunch of WTFs. Weekly teaching features, things that came up in my teaching week that I want to share with you. A great quote from Cale that I want to share with you. A new segment I'm going to call Do You Know ... And there's a very, very, very interesting guy that I don't think I'd ever heard about. I want to share his name and his music with you. A very cool instrument that you may never have heard of. A stringed instrument, so it's guitar related, but it's not a guitar. Should I sell out? I got an offer this week. Did I mention the student quote of the week? We've got a good student quote of the week. It's gonna be a pretty good show. Stick around, don't go anywhere. See that sunshine? Got a little sunshine coming in. Can't complain. Booba John says the Connecticut River Delta Blues. You got it. You got it. Joseph checking in from Oklahoma. Randy from Colorado. Wingo. William Collier from the Hill Country. Barry James checking in. Hey, baby. Barry. Hey, baby. Call you all baby. Hey, baby. Booba John. Hey, baby. Hope you guys are doing well. Let's have some fun. Make sure you have your guitar handy. It happens today. You don't need a capo for anything. Keep it handy just in case. Let's go get right into this Cale quote. We'll ease into the playing. I can't wait to do some playing with you guys. But I saw this quote from Instagram page I like quite a bit, and I'm going to share it with you. The Instagram page, here on your screen, the Instagram page is called Know Your Instrument, and it popped up in my feed. Pretty dramatic picture of the great Cale here. For those of you who are listening and not necessarily watching, this is a quote regarding blues music and what you might call a second generation or third generation approach to playing blues music. At least that's what it is in my mind. So the quote from Cale that really struck me, he said, we were just trying to play the blues and didn't know how. So that's what we came up with. Just as the Rolling Stones, the Yardbirds are trying to copy American blues records and got it just wrong enough to come up with something new, so did these kids raised amid the empty ranch lands and oil wells of Oklahoma. But instead of filtering the blues through skiffle and music hall songs, as the Brits did, these cowboys filtered it through country music and gospel, and that made all the difference. What a great perspective. He continues, I could never get the playing of whoever I was listening to exactly right. I would miss a few notes here and there or get a chord wrong. Through that, my playing ended up sounding a little bit different from the person I was imitating. As the years went by, I deliberately kept letting that happen. That's where a person's style comes from. If you play exactly like someone else, you don't come up with anything original. In a sense, you could say my guitar playing is full of mistakes that came from trying to imitate others. So interesting, right? Very, very interesting. See that heart and that red heart, and when it says one like, I can't believe I was the only person to like that post. I don't know. I take it all with a grain of salt. So very interesting quote. Don't worry, you don't have to memorize that. I'm going to copy and paste that and put that in the description of this live stream. Pretty interesting though, right? Pretty interesting way of looking at rock and roll, at popular music, at how music develops over the years. There you go. You guys see that okay? I know it takes a minute for the when I share a screen, I know it takes a minute for things to pop up. I know. Can't explain why. And like I said, that exact quote is going to be in the description of this live stream when I timestamp it. Okay, yeah, there you go. A little something that caught my eye. And I'm an amateur musicologist, just like all of you, right? And I love hearing, especially from people one generation or more older than I am, where their heads were at, and where they're coming from. Very interesting, Let's play something. All right, here's something from the WTF department, meaning weekly teaching feature. In my teaching this week, a song came up that many of you know very well, the song called Seven Bridges Road from the Eagles, right? Seven Bridges Road. A song that has come up in conversation many times with my students, and it's fair to say it was a highlight of my teaching week because, again, I'm going to share the screen. If your screen goes black, you know what I'm about to say. Don't worry. Okay. Here's what I'm sharing with you. And here's what we're going to do. I'm calling this the 7 Bridges Road worksheet. This is not the entire song by any means, but it prepares you to play the song, and it satisfies my agenda, which is as follows. Make sure you guys know some of the most common strum patterns. So what you're looking at on the screen is a worksheet involving the 3 chords that you need, D, C, and a chord to be named later. And what you're seeing there on the screen is an average of what the strum pattern is for guitar 1, which happens to be a 12-string acoustic guitar in the song. How do I know all this? Because I dropped about $5 on a big fat Eagles book of transcriptions, note for note kind of stuff. Hey, Christian is joining us. Hello, Christian from Denmark. Hello. So what I do as a teacher and as a fellow guitarist, I scan through a song and try to look for patterns. And this is what I came up with. So I'm going to stop talking for a minute. And I'm going to play the top line based on a D major chord. I'm going to play it slowly and I'll pick up the speed. Okay, classic boom chicka pattern, right? We all should be comfortable with this pattern. And here's an excuse to play it if you are already comfortable with it. And here's an excuse to learn it if it's kind of new to you. So grabbing a D major chord, a downstroke on the 4th string, that's the D string. I'm squeezing the pick a little tiny bit tighter so that note pops, you know. Then I relax my grip for a little brush down up on the 2 treble strings. If you happen to hit 3 strings, it's okay. What we're going for is a contrast between this sound and this sound. And like I said, it's a down up brush on those 2 treble strings. Okay, next, a hammer on. My index finger is going to lift off of the 3rd skinny string. I'm going to pluck that note with a firm grip and then hammer on with my index. Okay, there's the hammer on. To be clear, I only plucked the string once. The 2nd sound came from my fretting finger. Followed by a relaxed grip, 2 skinny strings, little down up. Now I'm going to put it all together. In my mind is a little internal drummer reminding me, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka. Now, you can go as fast as you want to, even faster than you might need to for this song. That's okay. Push yourself to go faster. You got to be conscientious, right? You want to push yourself to go faster gradually, you know. For some of you, your ring finger, your 3rd finger on your fretting hand might be leaning over a little bit on your skinny string. And you may know it, you may not know it, but now's the time to double check to make sure that skinny string note rings loud and clear. By the way, where's my thumb? My thumb is right on the curvy part of the neck, pointing up towards the ceiling. Okay, here's where you don't want your thumb. You don't want your thumb parallel to the neck. I'm not doing a very good job here. You don't want your thumb parallel to the neck. Having your thumb hanging over the top is not the worst thing. You can get away with that if your fingers are pretty flexible. If you're just starting off on the guitar, I do not recommend that. Bottom line is, hey, if you're comfortable and the sound is perfect, you're all set. If you are uncomfortable, you have to change something. And certainly if the sound is not clear, you have to change something, right? So in general, pointing up towards the ceiling. See a little cup little cup shape in my palm right there. I could put a golf ball right in there, put a big fat plum right in there. So that's a good technique. Again, if your sound is great, you don't have to listen to all this little stuff. It's those of you who are not satisfied with your sound. These are some good recommendations. Okay, so you good with that? Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka. Technically, you could say it's boom, chicka, boompa, chicka, right? Boom, chicka, boompa, chicka. Oh, I could say hammer. Boom, chicka, hammer, chicka, boom, chicka. Oh, I like that. Boom, chicka, hammer, chicka, boom, chicka. Okay. Saman is here. Hello, Saman. Matt, hello. Welcome, you guys. You haven't missed much. Okay, extremely similar approach on the C major chord. I'm looking at line 2 now. Okay, just to make it 100% clear, I got my C major chord, 5th string, 3rd fret, little firm grip on the pick, make that note pop. Relax your hand for a little brush down up on the 2 treble strings. If you happen to hit 3 treble strings, that's okay. Don't overthink it. The important thing is that it's a contrasting light brush down up, focusing on the treble strings. Okay, hammer on 4th string. My middle finger, my 2nd finger is up in the air temporarily. I pluck the open 4th string, hammer down with my middle finger, and again, I follow it with a little brush down up. Boom, chicka, hammer, chicka, boom, chicka. Okay, now the third thing you absolutely need for 7 Bridges Road is that mystery chord at the bottom of the page. Some of you have already figured out what that chord is. It's not exactly a traditional chord, and I didn't give it a name, and I'll tell you why I didn't give it a name. Well, first I'll play it. The reason I didn't put the name on there is I don't want you to do any more than what the tab is asking you to do, which is the 5th string open, followed by a hammer-on that I really, really strongly suggest you do with your middle finger. Okay? Followed by a light brush down up on really the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th open strings. Just open strings, right? 4th string open, same brush. Put it all together. Hammer, chicka, boom, chicka, hammer, chicka, boom. Okay, so I'm not committing any finger to this chord except the one I have to use. I have to use one finger on the 5th string. I'm choosing the middle finger because it makes sense, and it's a strong finger for doing hammer-ons. In spirit, this is a G chord. All these notes on this last line, they all reflect a G chord. I don't recommend committing your fretting hand to an entire G chord. It's just not necessary, and it's going to slow you down. There's a time for committing to a chord, and there's a time to move on. In this case, don't do it. Now, you might say, yeah, but if I grab the whole chord, then I have some insurance. If I hit an extra string by mistake, I'm covered. To that, I say, you have learned well, young Jedi. That's exactly the right attitude. You know what I'm saying? If you committed to the whole G chord, then literally any string is harmonious. Who wouldn't want to be in that situation? But nevertheless, I'm going to encourage you to take it easy and just do what's written there, okay? Okay, so questions, comments. This is, like it says at the top, simply a worksheet that prepares you for the bulk of 7 Bridges Road. You absolutely have to be good at this page if you want to play the whole tune. And I'm open-minded. We could totally do this tune as one of our virtual play-alongs. I know it's extremely popular. I saw Rock Lobster said, love that tune in the chat. But if we ever did do this in our virtual play-along, that's what you're going to need, right? So you might as well be be comfortable with it, you know? Questions, comments, what do you guys, you think it's pretty straightforward? Let me know in the chat how you feel about that. This satisfies my agenda, like I said, to make sure you guys know this whole boom chicka kind of feeling. And the fact that it has those sweet hammer-ons is even better, including, I love the fact that the bottom line, the hammer-on comes first. You could say hammer, chicka, boom, chicka for that bottom line. So great. Okay, you guys okay with that? That, what you're looking at there, I will add that to the PDF section of my website. When I finish this live stream tonight, it'll be added on. So those of you who are members of my website, you can access that. You don't have to scramble and worry about it right now. Now, some of you smart people, you just can remember it, right? There is a pattern for lines 1 and 2. You hit the root note of the chord. You strum down up. You do a hammer-on the string next to the root note, followed by another down up. Same thing on a C chord. The root note of the C chord is on the 5th string. Hammer on the string next to the root note string. You know, there's a pattern going on here. The bottom line breaks the pattern a little bit. Yeah, why not? Okay, last thing to cover my butt here with Guitar Teachers Incorporated. The actual guitar playing in the song doesn't, you know, do these exact 3 things with no exceptions, no variances. It's just that these 3, in my mind, form sort of the average skill you need to play the entire tune. You know, or like I said, you can't play the tune without being able to do what's on that page there, you know? Okay, so there you go. There's a little homework for you to prepare you for the day when we do this tune as a virtual tune, which I'm open-minded about. Hey, Charlie Beagle. Charlie is reminding me that we do have a poll question up and running, and I'm going to try, as I talk with you guys, I'm going to try to pull up the radio program that inspired this particular poll question. So the poll question is, if you found out that a piece of music that you're enjoying very much was created in part by AI, how would you feel about that? Oh, awesome. Okay, I got it here. Playlist, let me see. Okay. And I obviously I think my opinion is this is a complicated question, and I could only give you so many. There we go. Only so many options. So the official poll question is, if you found out AI helped create music that you like, you'd think, that's okay. Music is music. Option 2, you would feel disappointed, betrayed, maybe confused. Option 3, you'd be fascinated, like, whoa, what's going on? You know, you'd want to know more. And of course, other is the 4th option. And I realize that you guys might have lots of feelings about the way I do too. So in the chat just now, I put a link to the radio program that I actually heard this morning. I had a perfectly good poll question, a nice benign poll question in mind for you guys. And then I heard this radio program, and it was so interesting. So the link I put in the chat just now, I will also put it in the description of this live stream. Make sure I'm doing it right now. Okay, copy. The radio program from public radio is called On the Media. And there we go. Okay. And it just aired today. Excellent. And it was a composer actually talking about his own journey dealing with this concept of AI. So the link, you just have to scroll down about 1 inch and you'll see the story I'm talking about. Okay, close that out. There we go. Very, very interesting. On the radio program, the radio host played examples of AI music and what he prompted it, what he asked AI to create and what the final result was. And it very interesting to say the least. So I thought, wait a minute, instead of talking about something sort of, what's your favorite color of pick? I thought, let's talk about something like, relevant. It seems to me like, without a doubt, we're going to be hearing more and more music that was aided by artificial intelligence. And to be clear, I'm not talking about like a synthesizer that can make a trumpet sound. Rather, a composer, any of us, you and me, all of us, we enter in what we're looking for. And we, in a matter of moments, minutes, we are given what we just described, and it can sound pretty real. I think we're going to be hearing more and more of that, and we're not going to know it, right? And it's only going to get better, quote, quote. So how do you feel about it? Because you're going to, if you're like me and you listen to a lot of music, inevitably you're going to hear something you really like. And sooner or later, you'll probably find out, oh, somehow artificial intelligence was involved in creating that. The example that I heard about this morning was, say you've written a verse and you want some ideas for what the chorus of the song should be. And now you have 10 options that have been generated by AI, and they all sound pretty good. Maybe you pick your favorite and you move on, and you continue with your song, and you finish your song. Is that good? I don't know. That's why it's the poll question of the week. I don't know. So yeah, please feel free to talk about in the chat. But without a doubt, it's already here, and it's just a matter of how we feel about it, and to what extent people will be open about it, and to what extent it'll be hidden. We're just, I don't know, crazy times. Okay, so do let us know. Now, here is one example. Moving on. Here's one example of a segment, a new segment, I guess, officially. I'm officially declaring a new segment called "Do You Know?" ... Do you know? Oh man, do you know Bruce Langhorne? Of course, you know Bruce Langhorne, right? You've certainly heard Bruce Langhorne. On the screen, I'm going to pull up Bruce Langhorne's Wikipedia page. Sadly, Bruce Langhorne passed away about 8 years ago. But let's get to know Bruce Langhorne a little bit. Those of you who, there we go. Those of you, your screen may go black. Don't worry. If you get emails from me promoting this live stream, at the very bottom of the email, there's a little button to click called Headphone Listen. It's something that has crossed my path during the previous week, and it's music that's so good. I encourage everyone to put on some headphones and listen closely to it. And this week's feature was a song, a soundtrack song from Bruce Langhorne. So there you go. Bruce Langhorne, you're seeing, I hope, what I'm seeing here on the screen. Very, very interesting career. I'm sure that his accompaniment of Bob Dylan was how I first heard about Bruce Langhorne. But you can see from his resume here, he played with an awful lot of folk players, starting really early. And its legend is that Mr. Tambourine Man was inspired by Bruce Langhorne, who had a big old drum, and with bells on it. You can see in the Wikipedia page. Very interesting. So if you recognize the names of some of the performers here, and you recognize the names of some of these albums and songs, you most likely have heard Bruce Langhorne quite a bit now. Aside from the fact that I think we all should get to know Bruce Langhorne, here's some that caught my idea. See that thing right there? under movie music composer. It says Langhorne composed the music for the Peter Fonda Western film The Hired Hand in 1971, which combined sitar, fiddle, and banjo. Oh, man. So when I heard the song called The Hired Hand, oh, man, it was so good. It reminded me of soundtrack music later on that Ry Cooder did. And I didn't know that someone created a similar type of vibe for soundtracks before Ry Cooder. Well, there's Bruce Langhorne doing it in 1971. Is that what it said, 1971? We should all get to know Bruce Langhorne. So I'm going to put, any link I share with you today, I'm going to also put in the description of this live stream. But I'm going to stop sharing this one. Here is another thing that may interest you while we're talking about Mr. Langhorne. It is this. Okay. Stand by. This will be coming your way. There is a documentary film called Invisible Legend about Bruce Langhorne. It's called Invisible Legend, a film by Cynthia Riddle. Millions know his music. Almost no one knows his name, Bruce Langhorne. Now, I'm not sure. I see there's a trailer here. Okay. I don't know if the movie, I think the movie is in the works. I don't know if the movie has been actually made. I should know that, shouldn't I? The film, bear with me. Okay. I don't know, rescue. What's rescue? Rescue work? No. Pre-register. What's this? Okay. There we go. Okay, you guys seeing what I'm seeing there? So it might not be easy to track down, a screening of this movie. I guess it's out. It's available. Did I mention, and you're probably seeing it right now, that Mr. Langhorne did not have all of his fingers? See where it says, despite losing 3 fingers in a childhood accident, he became the go-to guitar accompanist in New York in the 1960s. Holy cow, man. Okay, so for those of you who might not be super familiar with Bruce Langhorne or had not heard his name before, there you go. One of our Do You Know features tonight. There'll be another one coming up in a little while. Anyways, Bruce Langhorne. There you go. I'm looking at what you guys are talking about in the chat. Talking about the AI stuff, right? Yeah. Charlie Beagle points out it's as if they haven't come up with enough ways to screw musicians out of their money. Well, it does. That if you listen to the podcast or journalist that I was talking about this morning, he basically said, he had been making a living like writing jingles, commercial music and related stuff. And, if AI can do it as good, if not better, 1,000,000 times faster and essentially for free, how is he going to have a career, right? I don't know. I'm still developing my thought process here, William says AI is cheating. Yeah, can't argue with that, Hey, Barry, you're talking about a technique that I've heard other people doing too. Barry says, David Bowie used the William S. Burroughs method to write. He'd cut up newspaper headlines, mix them up, and see if he came up with anything good. Yeah, it's an assisted technique, Barry says. Yeah, it's not the same as AI, but an assisted technique. Yeah. This seems so innocent by comparison, right? So innocent. Yeah, a lot of ways to be creative. I don't know. Anyways, that's why that is our poll question of the week. It's very very relevant because we're going to hear it more and more and more. Hey, you guys, we have 2 play along songs tonight. So how about if we get to one right now? Why wait, right? Why put it off? Our first play along song is it came from one of your suggestions, actually, from The Beatles, but not just any Beatle. Was it a week or two ago that someone suggested this song from Ringo called Don't Pass Me By? And I think that's a great idea. And bear with me. Okay, there we go. We will do this song in a minute. Got that. Okay. And here. Okay. And here. You do not need a capo. You do need C, F, and G. So get those ready for sure. And can I make this a little bit bigger? A little bit too big. Okay, that's pretty good. There we go. Okay, here it comes. I hope you guys can see this just fine in 1 minute. That one and this one. 4. I don't want that. No. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. I don't want that. We're going to be using that boom chick, boom chick. That's what we want. We want this. Will that work? Maybe. Let's get it out of my way. No, that's not so great either. I don't care for that. There's a better one. That one. Why is that so hard? Okay, now it's coming. We're going to be doing that boom chick strum. Now, I elected a bit better. Okay. To present this song, tonight's first virtual play-along song, lyrics with the chord names up above. And you guys have seen maybe the majority of songs you've seen out there on Ultimate Guitar and similar websites presented this way, lyrics with the chord names dropped above. And for this particular song, actually, I think it's not a bad way to present it. So let's talk about what you know from looking at that, and let's talk about what you don't know. We know the lyrics. We know the chords. Got it. The song has a couple of verses. See where it says CH in the middle, CH, don't pass me by. That's the chorus. That's my little thing. I just like putting that in there. Hey, Bruce from Sydney is joining us. Hello, Bruce. Welcome. You're just in time, Bruce, for our first play-along song. Okay, so C, F, and G. For those of you who are struggling with the F chord, I'm sorry, but we can't avoid it forever. Do F however you want to do F. For the most part, I'm going to be doing F. My intention is to do it as a 3-finger, 4-string F chord. No promises, but I'm going to try to stick with that F the whole time. Hey, David from San Diego, welcome. David, grab your guitar. You're just in time. The G chord, you know what I'm going to say, man. This song is a perfect example of why it makes sense to do G sometimes with your pinky on the skinny string 3 and your middle and ring on the 2 bass strings. I know some of you are groaning right now. You won't regret it. Why is it so important in this particular song? Because every time a G chord shows up, it's preceded by a chord where the ring and middle are not so far away from the where they want to be for the G chord. C going to G, they're so close. And this F going to G, they're also so close. Now, I can't make you do G this way, but I will always encourage you in your practice time to get good at that G. And again, I'll say it one more time. This version of G involves the ring finger, 6th string, 3rd fret, middle finger, 5th string, 2nd fret, pinky, 1st string, 3rd fret. If this feels hard, challenging, impossible, you're doing it right. Be patient. I've seen students before my very eyes go from saying some version of that to being pretty good at it and realizing that if they gave themselves a week, a month, they'd be fine with it. And it facilitates such easy chord changing. Okay, here's what this page does not tell you. It doesn't tell you how to strum it. It's a piano song. In fact, there's some pretty interesting background about this song. Written by Ringo. Written by Ringo well before they actually recorded it. If my research was right, Ringo was writing this back in '64. Didn't make it on until didn't make it into a recording session until 68 and the White Album, I believe it was 68. It's Ringo playing piano. Paul apparently is also playing piano. I heard conflicting things, whether it's Paul or Ringo on the drums. I think it actually is Paul on the drums. I'll tell you why. The drumming just isn't that spectacular, and I really think it sounds to me like it's someone other than Ringo playing the drums. There's a lot going on in this song, very fun tune. Since there's no audible guitar strum, we can strum it however we want. So what do I recommend? Just nice boom, chick, boom, chick. What I'm doing is I'm hitting the root note on a bass string and then strumming 3 or 4 treble strings, all downstrokes. The root note on a C chord, it's the 5th string, 3rd fret. Listen to your footsteps coming up the drive. Easy peasy, right? F. Because I'm doing this 4-string F, the root note is my ring finger on the 4th string, 3rd fret. Listen for your footsteps, but they don't arrive. Okay. And there's only one other option on the G chord. No matter how you finger the G chord, the root note of the G chord is the 6th string, 3rd fret. Waiting for your knock, dear, on my old front door. Now, this page doesn't tell you how many boom chicks to do. Not because I want to keep that information from you, but because this song only has those 3 chords. And it's a relatively straightforward song. There aren't too many curveballs or anything. I chose to present it this way and to trust that over time, if not tonight, over time, you'll develop a sense for when it's time to change to the next chord, partly relying on the lyrics themselves, right? For those of you who want a more detailed presentation, I've got you covered. I do have a PDF with tab and everything. It's 2 pages. It's great. And that will be soon on my website in the PDF section. Actually, I put both. I put this in the PDF section as well as the sort of proper tab. All right. Questions, comments? Let me know in the chat. I'm going to wet my whistle before I start singing. I'm going to try to sing just as well as Ringo sings. Rocking the orange Gatorade tonight. Okay, what do you think? You guys want to do this? You ready? I'm ready if you're ready. We'll do C for a couple of boom chicks before the lyrics come in, because that's how the Beatles do it. I'll see you on the other side. Listen for your footsteps coming up the drive. Listen for your footsteps, but they don't arrive. Waiting for your knock, dear, on my old front door. I don't hear it. Doesn't mean that you don't love me anymore. I hear the clock ticking on the mantel shelf. I see the hands are moving, but I'm by myself. I wonder where you are tonight, why I'm by myself. I don't see you, doesn't mean that you don't love me anymore. Don't pass me by, don't make me cry, make me blue. You know, darling, I love only you. You never know, it hurt me so. How I hate to see you go, don't pass me by. don't make me cry. Sorry that I doubted you, I was so unfair. You were in a car crash and you lost your hair. Said I would be late about an hour or two. I said that's alright, I'm waiting, just waiting to hear from you. Don't pass me by, don't make me cry, don't make me blue. You know, darling, I love only you. You never know, it hurt me so. How I hate to see you go, don't pass me by. Don't make me cry. You might have noticed that last chorus on hate to see you go, don't pass me by. Couldn't resist to put in a little bass walk down from C to G. So what did I do? You never know, it hurt me so. How I hate to see you go, don't pass me by. Okay, so I got my C chord. On the word go, the note I was going to hit anyways, which is the 5th string, 3rd fret. I hit it again on don't. Pass is the 5th string, 2nd fret. Me is the 5th string open. And by is what I was going to hit anyways, which is the 6th string, 3rd fret, because that's where the G chord shows up. So really, I'm inserting 3 sounds that I wouldn't have done otherwise. Without talking so much, I'll do it again. Starting on the C. And with the words, I'm going to just speak the words. You never know, it hurt me so. How I hate to see you go, don't pass me by. And then you're back on track with the boom check, right? This song definitely has a lot of opportunities for bass note runs, even though the Beatles aren't doing that. What else did I learn about this song? I thought you'd never ask. There we go. George Harrison was hanging out with the band called The Band and playing them tunes from the White Album when it was just released, I guess. And he reported back to Ringo that the band called The Band really liked this song. Other things that you might know if you are a fan of the White Album, some great fiddle playing on this tune. Very tasty country fiddle. And I'm sorry, I don't know the name of the fiddle player. It wasn't a Beatle. But there's some really, in fact, I would go as far as to say that the fiddle playing might be the high point of the song, other than Ringo's spirit, which is always a beautiful thing. But the fiddle playing sure is tasty. What else? Did I learn some other stuff about this song? Yeah. There you go. Our first virtual play-along song of the night. Brandy says that was a fun one. Joseph says, fairly simple song, a little tricky in transition. You know, C, F, and G. Now, Ringo's doing on the piano. So if the drummer can play it on the piano, it can't be that sophisticated a song. And yet, on the piano, these are all white key chords. Lots of white keys all the time. The key of C, these 3 chords are very user-friendly on the piano. On the guitar, it's not necessarily so, right? Okay. Hope you had fun. I'm going to set that one aside. Okay. So we got Beatles. We did the Eagles already. For those of you just joining us, we did a little worksheet on 7 Bridges Road. But don't worry, you can always come back and watch this. Okay, excellent, excellent, excellent. All right. Did I mention that I'm here for your questions? It is called the SongBike Guitar Q&A live stream. Ask me a question. Don't be shy. Put a few question marks in advance so I know your question is aimed at me, and I will do my best to answer your question. Okay. Oh, don't forget our poll. Keep voting in our poll question. If you just got here, look at the poll question up at the, I see it at the top of the chat. I assume that's where you guys see it as well. Mooz, M-O-O-Z. It's the opposite of Zoom. Do any of you know what I'm talking about? This new service has been showing up in my feed, and it's called Mooz, M-O-O-Z. It's pitched as the perfect platform for music teachers to teach music lessons because of the sound quality. It's not cheap. I think they give you a 14-day trial, and that's it. It's pricey. But I do know the frustration of doing an online lesson and having the sound quality be not so great, or sometimes sometimes the guitar playing of the student that I'm watching is being noise reduced, which it blows my mind that the microphone, the same microphone that's picking up the voice, can reject the guitar. Trust me, they've found the technology to do that, and it makes lessons difficult. So, have any of you heard of or tried out this thing called Mooz? I'm going to put the link to Mooz in the chat. Actually, I can probably put it. Yeah, I put it in the description. I can probably put it in the chat right now. Somebody try it and tell me how great it is, and then we'll start a Mooz fund. It's an app basically, and the website is mooz.pro, mooz.pro. That gets you there. Okay. Anyways, I want to throw that out there to the universe. Believe me, I would rather not pay for anything if I don't have to. Having said that, I'm a fan of quality, and you're worth it. Okay. Let's bang out a couple of our regular segments. Should I sell out? This week's offer was rechargeable flashlights. My own dumb question of the week. I got a dumb question. Is musical ability genetic? I mean, conventional wisdom is that it is, right? You come from a musical family and everyone's a musical genius, right? But it doesn't always work that way, I mean, does it? I don't know. It's a dumb question. What do you think? Is musical ability genetic? Can they crack the code? Can they identify, the next Mozart at birth? I don't know, but we certainly hear plenty of examples of, siblings that are extremely musical, the Van Halen brothers, but then again, there's tons and tons of examples of people who are the only musical person in the family, and the rest of the family, do something else. I don't know. Is musical ability genetic? I mean, it must be, right? There must be some genetic component. It's a dumb question, but I don't know. It's the dumb question of the week. Hey, Barry, thank you for your super chat. A super chat is how you can support the live stream here. And I was laughing as I goofed up the lyrics of "Don't Pass Me By," and I had to use my black Sharpie to cross out the wrong chord. I thought, we got to have a whiteout fund. We already have a Sharpie fund. We're going to have a whiteout fund. So Joseph, thank you for your super chat. Joseph and Barry, your donations may well go to the whiteout fund. Okay, Barry, our moderator, music fan 1004, is pointing out that I gotcha. That Barry, I missed your question. Barry, oops, you're asking a great question. Barry says, what's the most overrated or unnecessary technique that is really not needed on the guitar? in reality not needed on the guitar? Ooh, great question. Bar chords. There you go. Moving on. No, I'm kind of serious. At first I started thinking about, crazy tapping up and down the neck and all, but I don't know. I might stick with my answer of bar chords. Of course they're needed, but if only to play devil's advocate, you guys, if you've listened to even half of a live stream, you know that I have mixed feelings, not about bar chords themselves, about the hype. I have mixed feelings about the hype surrounding bar chords. But Barry, let me think if I can come up with another answer besides just that. I mean, when I see people doing all sorts of amazing, beautiful things on acoustic, electric guitars, nylon string, classical guitars, everything, I admire all the sounds people can get. It's a great question. No, I'm going to stick with bar chords. I am. Yeah, there you go, bar chords. And of course, everyone should pay their dues and learn bar chords. But for the love of all that is holy, practice other stuff besides bar chords. And if your favorite song that you got to play, it has a bar chord, it's messing you up, that's okay. But find a second favorite song that doesn't have bar chords and spend time on that one as well. I would hate to have anyone judge their overall progress by how they're doing on a bar chord or even the F chord for that matter. Rock Lobster contributing the songbucks. Oh, you guys are being super generous for the whiteout fund. Okay, I'm going to make a note to myself to get some whiteout because I can't let you guys down. I can't talk about how I'm going to spend your hard-earned money and not do it. Okay, I'm putting whiteout on the list along with dog food, cat food, dishwasher. What do you call the little dishwasher things? Little dishwasher tabs. Okay, and whiteout is on the list. All right. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. I'm speaking of bar chords. Joseph says he's been playing Lay Lady Lay, the Bob Dylan song, as a way to essentially practice your bar chords. It's a great idea. Lay Lady Lay, that main riff I'm playing right now, is nothing but bar chords. And, it's a really beautiful chord progression. So Joseph, you're onto something. Barry says, I wish I spent more time working on my strumming than learning bar chords. Yeah. I mean, I'm partly playing devil's advocate, and there's so many rewarding things on the guitar that also make your fretting hand more limber, more confident, more flexible. All those things that help you with bar chords. So, Charlie Beagle, maybe Charlie, your answer is maybe second best than picking the guitar with your teeth. Is probably overrated. Yeah, I think that's another thing that you shouldn't spend too much time on that. A little time, but really not too much time. Getting back to our poll question, Audiophile Man says, AI is okay in music if the artist approves and is involved. I don't want to hear a new AI song from deceased artists. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Well, we probably already have, right? I bet we have, or we will soon. Some of you may feel this is not a complicated issue at all. Some of you may feel it never should be done. Some of you may feel that music is music, and if it moves you, it moves you. And it doesn't matter how it was made. And if it doesn't move you, then it doesn't matter who did it if it doesn't move you, right? Okay, very interesting. But keep the conversation going in the chat. I do enjoy reading the chat a little more carefully when I do the time stamping of of this live stream. Okay, now we're about 1 hour in, and this is typically when we do our second, or do our only virtual play along, and we will get to our second one in a moment. But I don't want to lose track of all this other stuff that we can talk about tonight. And of course, please do keep your questions coming. Don't forget to put a bunch of question marks in advance. Check. Okay, check. Oh, let's do the student quote of the week, because it definitely ties in to this whole boom chicka thing we're talking about. And for the student quote of the week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that Seven Bridges Road worksheet back up here, and you'll see why. A student of mine said something very interesting, and sometimes a student will say something and it's the attitude or the spirit or the logic of what they're saying that really strikes me and makes me write it down, as opposed to the poetry of it, So, okay, here comes the Seven Bridges Road worksheet on your screen. And while it's loading up there, I will tell you the student quote of the week and the significance and why I'm pulling up Seven Bridges Road again. Okay, the student was doing a song. It might have even been this song, but if it wasn't, it was something similar with a boom chicka. Oh no, it wasn't this song, but it was a similar concept. And he said the following, in terms of reaching in and hitting a single bass note, he said, I just go for the regions so I don't overthink it. Meaning he intends to hit, say, the fourth string, the D string. I got my D chord with my fretting hand. I hit the fourth string right there. He intends to hit the fourth string, but he aims for that general region, meaning he could hit the fifth string by mistake. He could hit the third string, or a better way of putting it, he's giving himself permission to hit the third or the fifth string so he doesn't overthink it. And I thought, you know what? That's the first time in a long time where I heard a student fighting against overthinking something, because overthinking is rough, man. It's a rough way to go about your day. I can attest to that. So when he said that, he was giving himself permission to aim for the region around the fourth string in this type of picking. I thought, man, I like that attitude. And of course, he did it great. And maybe it's because he wasn't overthinking it. He accepted that he might hit another string, but he wasn't going to let that totally, ruin the experience, ruin the sound. I'm going to hit the fifth string intentionally. Doesn't sound bad. Now I realize with the hammer on the third treble string, well, we are going for a very specific effect right there. If you go to do that effect, but you don't hit the third string, yes, I get it. It's lost. But I liked his attitude, and I thought, you know what? I could learn from that. I thought I would share it with you guys. And that's the student quote of the week. And to repeat it one more time, he said, I just go for the regions so I don't overthink it. Because you can get so hung up, right, on did you or did you not hit the exact thing you meant to, that you can make yourself crazy. And, it all takes patience, right? It all takes patience. Audiophile Man says, the new AI song from Randy Travis, who lost his ability to sing, is great. That's a good use of AI. Interesting. You guys, anyone else know that song? What's the name of that song? Audiophile Man. I'm curious. I'd like to hear it myself. Very interesting. And Joseph, you're talking about having a light touch on strumming. Yeah, talking about strumming on Have You Ever Seen the Rain, other songs. Yeah, I mean, having a light touch is one of the best sort of unwritten rules of playing any instrument. Not only using the bare minimum of muscles, but simply having the musicianship, simply having the skill to adjust how loud or soft something is, or if you like it, put it this way, how much effort, how much energy you're putting into getting a sound from the instrument, however you want to put it. Developing a light touch is huge. It's huge. I've worked with students. I do it all the time where they're playing something correctly, and there's only one thing missing, and that's relaxing. But that's a good thing if you're doing everything correctly. Say on that Seven Bridges Road worksheet, if you're doing everything correctly, and the only thing left is that relaxed flow, perfect. Then you've checked all the boxes, and there's only that one thing left. And that's great. That's a good position to be in. Love it. Check. How about one more do you know feature, and then we'll talk about we'll get into our second play along song of the night. Do you know Alvino Rey? Oh man, how did I miss the boat on Alvino Rey? Credited with lots of stuff. Okay, there we go. Alvino Rey credited with being the first popular performer to play an electrified guitar. Born Alvin McBurney, changed his name to Alvino Rey. Okay, hopefully you're seeing the Wikipedia page that I'm seeing here as well. In the description of this live stream, I'm going to put a YouTube link to one of his performances. He has many performances you can see on YouTube. The electrified steel guitar. Number one, just a very, very skilled musician on a number of instruments. Where are we here? He, among other things that he can be credited with, is he really popularized. There, I'm scrolling. I'm sorry if you guys are trying to read and I'm scrolling and getting these right out from under you. I'm sorry about that. See this 1939, the talkbox device. He was, like it says, he invented an early version of it, and Peter Frampton, used it, and used the more modern version. Very, very interesting guy. Okay, what's the connection with the modern day personal life? He's the grandfather of the dudes from Arcade Fire. Holy moly! I just about fell out of my chair when I read that. Any Arcade Fire fans out there? You never know in this world, right? You never know who is going to connect with whom. Very interesting. So I encourage you to do a little bit of a deeper dive into Alvino Rey. You can see here under Pioneer of Electrified Instruments, the result. Gibson's first electric guitar, the ES-150, a steel guitar, right? Not the guitar that you and I have right now, the kind that you lay down flat in your lap and you play with a metal bar of sorts, right? He was among the first musicians to popularize that sound. Very interesting. Okay, so thank you for letting me scroll through Wikipedia. I know Wikipedia is not the sexiest thing to look at, but his career and his talent, very fascinating guy, Alvino Rey. Okay, so I feel, since some turned me on to him, I feel like it's my duty to turn you on to Alvino Rey. Very interesting. Yeah, Joseph is bringing up an interesting thing. Thank you, Joseph. I'm glad you brought it up because I'm going to bring that up. Actually, it's a good segue in our next play along song in a minute or two. The idea of strumming on open strings as your fretting hand changes chords. Not only is it common, it's also good, it's professional, it's something that I sometimes forget to mention. In fact, our second play along song, I didn't write it in the tab, and later I thought, nope, I got to go back and fix it. I went back, edited it, saved it a second time because I wanted to include it. So what Joseph is talking about is how strumming often should continue and continue and continue, even if the left hand isn't quite at the chord it wants to be at yet. Very often, especially experienced professional musicians, will keep the strumming going, strumming on wide open strings, at least a couple of them, while their fretting hand is getting into place. Yeah. And Joseph, you didn't even know that you were setting me up for our next play along song. And hey, you know what? I think now is as good a time as any. I'm still back at Arcade Fire. Can you believe that? He's the grandfather of the guys in Arcade Fire. That's crazy. I don't know. All right. So our next play along song. the other reason we're going to get demonetized. Laughing to keep from crying. A fantastic tune, and I was surprised that we had not already done this tune from Jerry and Bob and all the guys in the Grateful Dead, the song called Franklin's Tower. How have we not done Franklin's Tower before? I don't even know. On the screen, momentarily, you will see what I can see, which is the extremely simple chord progression of the entire tune of Franklin's Tower. And the chord progression is A, G, D, 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 G, A, G, D, D. Three beats of A, one of G. 3 beats of D, and one of G. Okay, 3 A's and a G, 3 D's and a G. There you go. So what's left to talk about? We are going to talk about a fancier way of strumming it that's more in keeping with the syncopation of the tune. We're going to talk about bite size A's, G's, and D's up the neck. We're going to talk about soloing. All you Jerry Garcias out there, what the different scales you can use for soloing, on top of this tune. Okay, so at the top of the page, you can see the 3 chords you need. Guess what? You can do G however you want. Surprise me. Doesn't matter in this tune. However you want to do A, G, or D. Again, the heart of the tune is 3 counts on A, 1 on G, 3 counts on D, and 1 on G. And that's the entire tune. For those of you, if that's your speed, do that. Now, for those of you who want to strum a little bit more funkily with downs and ups, now is the time. And I'm going to zoom in on line 2 because, Joseph, this is where your point. Okay, I know that's enormous. I know. Okay, see line 2 where it says syncopated strum right there? Okay, what Joseph is talking about is reflected right there. The 0, 0, 0 on the 3 treble strings right before the G chord, and the 0, 0, 0 on the 3 treble chords right before that, before either G chord. Okay, so that's Jonathan, who's going to do an upstroke on open strings as I change to the G chord. Nailing that G chord at the right time is way more important than anything. So I'm giving my left hand the permission to leave early so I can get to that G chord in nick of time. Okay, this syncopated strum, I'm going to verbalize it before I play it. Down, up, down, up, 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 down. Down, up, down, up, 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 down. Down, up, down, up, 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 down. Now I'm going to add the chords quietly while I continue to verbalize it. Down, up, down, up, 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 down. Down, up, down, up, 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 down. Now, I'm going to do the simple strum at the top of the page during the verses. And then I'm going to do that syncopated strum during the chorus, the roll away, roll away, the do, roll. Now why am I doing that? Because I want to make sure I do both types of strumming for you guys, the simple downstrokes at the top of the page and the syncopated strum. And frankly, it's just easier to do the syncopated strum during the chorus because the chorus lyrics are so easy. Roll away the dew, roll away the dew. And it's a little bit trickier to do that strum and sing all the lyrics of the verses. There you go. Okay, moving on. Bite-sized chords. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, see those bite-sized chords? Please feel free to do A up the neck, and G and D. I mean, the song is going to go on for a few minutes. You got plenty of time to do those chords. The same sequence, the same timing still makes sense. Even though I wrote A, G, D, G, it's still 3 counts on A, 1 on G, 3 counts on D, 1 on G. Why did I not write it that way right there? Number one, I'm hoping you just remember the sequence. Number two, you guys know I'm obsessed with making a lesson plan fit on one page. And that was a compromise I had to make. Okay, for those of you who are dying to solo along with this tune, you could do an A major pentatonic. And there it is, 2-5, 2-4, 2-4, 2-4, 2-5, 2-5, an A major pentatonic there. The little B.B. King box version of the A major pentatonic, 6-5, 7-5, 7-5 right there. The reason I have you ending on the note 5, by the way, 6-5, 7-5, 7-5, is that's the note A. We're in the key of A. It just, I want to bring that note to your attention. That's all. If you want to be even more hipper, play the A Mixolydian mode. Is that a typo? Typos make me crazy. A Mixolydian. Okay. The A Mixolydian mode, it's just a D major scale. The reason why I'm suggesting this is the note G is extremely significant in this song because there's a G chord, featured constantly, right? The G chord is very significant in this song. Well, if the G chord is showing up all over the place, we want to get the G note in here, right? And the G note does not show up in the A major pentatonic scale, no matter how you play it. It's not one of the 5 tones of the A major pentatonic, but we want to get the G note in there. So the A Mixolydian mode has the G note and lots of other nice notes as well. And another name for the A Mixolydian mode is the D major scale, which just goes to show anytime you ever hear any mode, whatever mode you ever hear someone talking about, it's just a repurposed major scale. A D major scale is the same as an A Mixolydian mode. So what you're looking at right there, it literally is a D major scale. It's that 7-9, 7-8, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. It even sounds like a major scale. But it's also a source of lots of great notes, including the note G, which fits this song very nicely. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out and we'll start the song in 1 second. I'm zooming out so you can look at and enjoy whatever part of this works for you. Questions, comments about this tune before we start? Even though I'm going to go into that syncopated strum during the chorus, if that's not your thing, you can totally keep doing the down strums from the top of the page. Roll away the do, D, D, G. Roll away the do. This song is a guitar teacher's dream. Okay, I'm going to wet my whistle and then we'll start. Don't go anywhere. Let's do it. I'll see you on the other side. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. In another time, forgotten space, your eyes look through your mother's face. Wildflower seed on the sand and stone. May the four winds blow you safely home. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. I tell you where the four winds dwell. Franklin's tower, there hangs a bell. It can ring, turn night to day. It rings like fire when you lose your way. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. God save the child who rings that bell. May have one good ring left, baby, you can't tell. One watch by night, one watch by day. If you get confused, just listen to the music play. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. Some come to laugh the past away. Some come to make it just one more day. Whichever way your pleasure tends. If you plant ice, you're gonna harvest wind. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. In Franklin's tower, the four winds sleep like four lean hounds, a lighthouse keep. Wildflower seed in the sand and wind. May the four winds blow you home again. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. Roll away the dew. All right, how'd you do? What do you think? The PDF you're looking at right there, of course, will be available on my website before long. Thoughts? Anybody playing some solos in there? I tried to leave some space for jamming. H. Sanders says, very nice. Thank you. Winston, thanks for being here. Winston, you got those books? Excellent, excellent. Chris, it reminds you of Night Moves. Night Moves has that great guitar strumming. Yeah, Night Moves has a different key. You know, but it's got that acoustic groove. Okay, so hopefully some of you tried that syncopated down up business just to see what happened, right? If it worked out, great. If it didn't work out, obviously don't give up on it. You practice it slowly. You come back and listen to this part of the live stream. Down, up, down, up, 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 down. Bum, ba-bum, bum, bum, ba-bum. For the record, that strum fits the song really nicely. It's not literally what you hear when you turn on the song. You don't hear, you know, every guitar player in the Grateful Dead doing that exact strum, which is good and bad, right? If you did hear it loud and clear, it obviously tells you exactly what you need to mimic. But because the exact strum rhythm is not totally obvious and repetitive, it gives you and I the freedom to come up with something that works, to establish something that fits the song and work on that exact thing and repeat it without the stress of remembering a million variations and a whole bunch of dynamic changes. You know, you got to start somewhere. So what you just did, this down, up, down, up, 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 down, is a really solid approach to this tune, you know. All right, so we'll add that one to the list. We have done dozens and dozens and dozens of these tunes. I haven't updated our song list recently, you guys. So, but that won't stop me from pointing out to you, look at all these tunes. Okay, I'm going to shrink this down a little bit and make it a little bit bigger, 75. Okay, just to give ourselves a pat on the back, because you guys have been doing these tunes. Is that what I'm looking for? No. What do I want? No, I don't want that. You guys have been doing these tunes with me quite a bit now. And okay, I guess that's what I want right there. There we go. Okay. Now, this is not an absolute updated list, but what you're seeing on the screen, or what you will see on the screen in a minute, is these dozens and dozens of tunes in alphabetical order that you have played. Look at all those, little by little. And there's, I don't know, there's probably 8 or 10 that aren't on this list yet. I just haven't added them to the master list here. Look at all those tunes. We got plenty of rock and roll. We got some folky stuff, some Irish stuff, some blues. Oh man, look at those tunes. That's a lot of songs. The number in parentheses is the live stream number. So for instance, how about In the Midnight Hour? In the Midnight Hour was from live stream number 41. I'm happy if anyone would like this list, like I can email it to you. If you would like this list, I'm happy to send you a copy. It would, I'd be happy to. And secondly, it would prompt me to update it. So, you know, all the recent songs are on that list. If you would like a copy of that, I'm happy to get that for you. Send me an email at info@song-bike.com. And maybe in the subject, just put song list. I mean, don't worry, whatever. I mean, I'm going to read it no matter what, right? But if you put song list in the subject line, it'll be very obvious what it is. all those songs, man. Remember the songs, in almost every single one of them is relatively slow, has relatively easy chords, a relatively easy strum pattern, perfect for building your repertoire. You go from being able to strum 2 or 3 songs to be able to strum 2 or 3 dozen songs, because a lot of the same chords keep showing up, right? A lot of the same strum patterns keep showing up, and so on and so on. So yeah, so feel free. I'll put that email address in the chat, info@song-bike.com. And okay, hey, I want to thank you guys for all the stuff you bought. I had a big 4th of July book and ebook sale last holiday weekend, and you guys went crazy. I was slashing the prices, and you guys responded, and I thank you. A lot of you guys bought ebooks. My hard copy book. Now I still have plenty of the hard copy book, so don't be shy. Easy guitar chord and lead tricks. That's the one that I have a little box of them, and I mail them right to you. All the other ones you get immediately delivered to your inbox as a PDF. And don't forget free stuff. I haven't promoted the SongBike Blues Guide. This is the free one. A lot of you have this already. But in case you don't, just go to song-bike.com and scroll down. I think it's pretty easy to find. And just put in your email address, and it gets sent to you right away. Or you might have to put in your email address, and it might do a little security check to make sure you're not a bot. Anyways, the Blues Guide, very cool. So my point is, thank you for your support. All you guys bought so many books, and it's just fun to see that it pops up on my phone, like, another purchase. It was a pretty decent sale, 40% off, it's all for a good cause. All right, my friends. There's a Saturday at the end of the month, which would be the 26th. No show that Saturday. Just want to let you guys know, those of you who have stuck around here for the past 90 minutes, or those of you who have joined us just recently, no show on July 26th. I'll be out of town. Next week is great. No problem next week. It's the 26th. I'll be, knock on wood, up in the state of Maine, checking out Buck Dancer's Choice for their awesome guitars up there, and up in Portland. And maybe I'll, I won't be that far from Portsmouth, New Hampshire, a very cool shop called Gary's Guitars, and any other guitar places that catch my eye. There's a place called Toontown. That's not too far from where we stay. So anyways, don't forget to take part in our poll. For those of you just joining us, the poll question is, if you found out that AI helped create music that you like, what would your reaction be? You might say, it's okay. Music is music, and we're all here for beautiful music. You might say that you've been betrayed. It's not, you don't want to hear you. You might be intrigued, fascinated. How do they do it? Tell me more. How did it all happen? And of course, other. So let us know in the chat. Okay, what have we not talked about today? The viola d'amore. Imagine a 12-string violin. That's one way to describe it. A multi-string bowed instrument. The viola d'amore. I'm sure it's played by a variety of people, but in the description of this live stream, I'm going to put a link to Rachel Barton playing the viola d'amore. I feel like making hand gestures when I say that. I'm 1/4 Italian, so I have 1/4 of a right to say that. Very fascinating instrument. You can add that to the collection of instruments that you've heard about, that you maybe didn't know about before this live stream, and now you're aware of that stringed instrument. And I'm not sure if it's exactly 12 strings, maybe it's 8 strings, but it's one of those instruments, right? Where from a distance, it looks like it's only 4 strings, but you get close and you realize it's 8 strings or however many. Fascinating instrument. And I came across my social media feed recently. I thought, I'll share that with you guys. And if you haven't heard of Rachel Barton, very talented and skilled musician. For the fun of it, since we're talking about musicians that maybe you could be turned on to, Kevin Day, young cellist and composer, very interesting guy, getting a lot of attention. Willie Carlisle. Willie Carlisle is another name that I'll put in the description of this live stream with a link, just like Kevin Day. Willie Carlisle is a pretty quirky songwriter, playing a squeeze box and singing his heart out. I think you might get a kick out of Willie Carlisle. So I'm going to put links to all this stuff in the description of this live stream. The cellist and composer Kevin Day, the songwriter and squeeze boxer Willie Carlisle. I figure it can't hurt. Last week, I think I put this in the description. I don't know if I talked about it. Those of you who wonder, as we all sometimes do, is it a violin or a fiddle? And how do you know the difference? Well, if you want to hear a super talented person who blurs the lines between violin music and fiddle music, Tessa Clark. I'm going to put a link to a Tessa Clark YouTube video in the description of this live stream as well. For the fun of it. For the fun of it. Why not? Who's in town this week? A little segment I call Who's in Town? No one. I'm so sorry to say it that way. A local theater company has sort of taken over the local theater, and that means the music pickings are kind of slim this week. So I love telling you guys about who is in town, because a lot of talented people come through my little town in Connecticut, and if they're on tour through my town, it's So I was just saying that this week I don't have anyone great to report to you about. Some very talented people are coming through my neck of the woods in the next few weeks and months, and I certainly look forward to sharing their names with you. Yeah, David, David Hedden is pointing out that Rachel Barton was very badly injured in a train accident, and as you point out, she hung in there and continued her musical progress despite being very badly injured. I was living in Chicago, David. Maybe you live in Chicago yourself when that happened, and a tough accident to live through. And she not only lived, but she obviously has become a world-renowned violinist. And so I was happy. David, you were there when it happened. Whoa. Hopefully you have also healed from that. I can only imagine. So I was happy when I heard about this instrument, this Viola d'Amore, that it was Rachel Barton playing. I thought, oh, well, I would love to give her a little bit of the spotlight to the extent that I can. Guitars and deserts. Regarding tonight's poll question, Guitars and Deserts says there should be a disclaimer to let us know, if the artist actually created the music, or if AI did it. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. I mean, could that happen? I doubt it. It's a great idea. When food sometimes is identified as being genetically modified or not genetically modified, I have a feeling it's not going to happen. But you know what? Who knows? Static Zigzag. Oh, you're a lucky duck. Static Zigzag is going to be heading out next week. Next week, you're going to go see the Pixies and Kurt Vile in Philadelphia. Very fun. Static Zigzag. I take it that's where you're from, Philadelphia. Very fun. The Pixies and Kurt Vile. How cool is that? Take a good look at Frank Black from the Pixies and see if he is playing his Healy guitar. Healy Guitars from Massachusetts. I believe he is one of many people, but one of the more famous people that plays a Healy guitar handmade by Trevor Healy, not too far from here. I guess I could swing by his place in maybe 90 minutes or something. And so if you're close enough to take a look and see what Frank Black from the Pixies is playing, you just might notice that he's playing a Healy guitar. Very interesting. Want to say hi to my mom. Mom is often watching. Hey, Mom, hope you're doing well. Music fan, also known as the moderator I am married to. She appeared in the chat a little while ago, and she may be still around. You guys are pretty well behaved, so the moderators often get to relax and enjoy the show. Static Zigzag, you live in Massachusetts? Well, then you are not too far. You can't be too far from small town Connecticut here. Our claim to fame is that where I am at the moment is pretty much exactly in between Boston and New York City. And that's, sometimes you gotta take your claim to fame however you can get it. So that's where we are, right on the Connecticut shoreline. Winston says, doesn't matter who wrote the music as long as it's being played by a real musician on a real instrument. That's an interesting perspective. Take a listen to the show, the radio show that I put the link to, and what you'll hear is, well, I mean, the AI. I don't know. I don't. When you ask AI to give you something musical, and it produces music for you to listen to, I don't know where it gets that music. Is it music that's been sampled? Where does it find that music? I don't know. I don't know anything about this stuff. Is it music that literally was played by a real musician at some point, and AI is taking it and sampling it and doing something with it? I guess so. I guess that's what it is. I don't know. It's a whole new world. Whole new world. The big news culturally is the muster. The muster is what's going on here in Connecticut. I believe it's next weekend. Deep River, Connecticut, a stone's throw, a drumstick's throw from here. The annual Deep River Muster. Fifes, drums, and beer, plus beer. And the men and women who enjoy all three of those things, plus beer, they have ambulances on standby. I'm not even joking. So just to recap, men, women, fifes, drums, beer, and ambulances. And that's I believe it's next weekend. There. And so now you are up to date on the culture of small town Connecticut. It's a big deal. I believe there are 2 annual musters, fife and drum corps members from all over the world, mostly from Connecticut and New England. But I believe there's a fife and drum corps from Switzerland that has been known to make an appearance. So that's what's going on here. Fife and drums and fife. Music Fan is thanking everybody for being so awesome and making her moderating job so easy. She says, don't make me come over there. Don't make me stop the car. Beginner Guitar Lessons is pointing out that Paul McCartney is coming through his neck of the woods. Is it Beginner Guitar Lessons? Is it New Orleans? Is specifically playing in New Orleans? I imagine so. Is it part of a festival? Because you guys already had the big jazz festival, right? Man, Ringo came through Connecticut not that long ago, and somehow I missed it. Ringo Starr and the All-Star Band. I don't know. He didn't text. He didn't call. He just kind of snuck through. I don't know. Sure would be great to see a Beatle. I'm still sitting on my ticket to Bob Dylan and Willie Nelson in September. 2 months, September 9th, give or take. 2 months. Oh, these guys are not young people anymore. 2 months seems like a long time. Willie Nelson had a bit of a health concern. I guess he's bounced back, but it seemed like just a week ago or so, Willie Nelson was, needed to take a little time. Static Zigzag says Paul is not coming through Boston. What the heck? Well, for any of you who may see Paul McCartney or Ringo on tour anytime soon, I think that's awesome, and I hope you enjoy every second of it. Okay, so you guys, I see so many check marks. I even mentioned the muster. Look at that. Okay, so now's the time to ask me a question. While you formulate the question, I'm going to do that thing with a Gatorade again. Stand by. And I'm back. Okay. You've made it this long. We've been going for almost 2 hours, not quite 2 hours. You guys made my job so easy. I did everything I wanted to do. So, yeah, Joseph is pointing out that Bob Dylan is 84. Yep, and Willie is over 90. I don't know. We're all lucky to be here, right? Who knows? Like the saying says, we have to consider the world we want to leave behind for Keith Richards. That's why we recycle and all the good stuff that we do. I don't know. All right, you guys, this is it. Last call for questions. Maybe we'll wrap up a little bit early tonight. Why not? The sun's out. I'm checking out the pizza parlor next door. They've been doing brisk business. If I understand correctly, 4th of July weekend, the pizza parlor sold 600 pizzas on the 4th of July. On the 5th of July, my friend, neighbor, and landlord told me he woke up with just cramped hands after making 600 pizzas on the 4th of July. That's a lot of pizzas, you guys. Beginning guitar lessons is reminding you guys to hit the like button. Why not? Why not hit the like button? Why not tell a friend about this live stream? You guys support this live stream in many ways, and I'm grateful for every one of those things that you do. Telling a friend would be great too. You can, in the description of this live stream I'm going to make sure before I say it. In the description of this live stream should be a link to all the past live streams. Yes. And if it's not there, I'll certainly put it there, but I believe it's there. So you can turn a friend on and say, hey, check out some of the past live streams, Beginning guitar lesson says, bring a friend next week. There you go. Static Zigzag says, I saw Willie Nelson when I lived on Maui. Okay, he owned that place called Charlie's. That's pretty sweet, man, to own a place where you can perform, presumably, not too far from where you live. Heaven. That'd be heaven. Not bad at all. All right, you guys, let's call it, man. Tell you what, I'm going to let you off early for good behavior, with the understanding that I do expect you to practice your guitar. Play some scales, some chords, some arpeggios. Think about that boom chicka from Seven Bridges Road. Think about the boom chick from Don't Pass Me By. Remember, when this live stream ends, pretty quickly, it gets turned into a video you can watch. It takes a little bit, but I think it's just a few minutes. So you can go back and watch anything. Recently, I've been time-stamping the video as soon as we finish, as opposed to waiting until tomorrow morning. I just kind of bang it out right now, so I'll probably do that as well. Randy says, thanks for another great show. Randy, thank you, and thank you to everybody who made Super Chat donations for the Whiteout Fund. Poll results. If you found out AI helped create music you like, 68% of you chose the answer I put in that says I'd feel disappointed / betrayed. 18% said it's okay. Music is music. It's all maybe it's good. Maybe, I mean, if you like it, you like it, right? Because that's the premise, right? The premise of tonight's question was you've already made a judgment. You've already said, "Ooh, I like this. I want to learn more about it." 12% chose the other, and 3% of you, 3% said you'd find that fascinating. You know, that like, ooh, you know, you wouldn't be necessarily turned off right away. It's intriguing, right? It's intriguing. All right, you guys. On that note, I will see you next Saturday. The 26th of July is when we're going to take that week off. But I look forward to next Saturday's show from the heart of the Connecticut River Delta. This is Jonathan saying good night. My weekend begins now. Take care, everybody. Thanks for being here.